Good morning. Good morning. So, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I mean, that 150 level is nice for AIM. It just needs to break the VWAP, and the downtrend there. So it's not a bad spot. It's just again, the VWAP is gonna act as resistance there, and it's failing again at the VWAP. Stupidness. Cam, good morning. Pierre, good morning. Frankie, good morning. Donald, good morning. Red, good morning. Cody, good morning. Mark, good morning. Sean, good morning. Daryl, good morning. River, good morning. Alan, good morning. Good morning, Flip. Biddy, good morning. Good morning, Sam. Winterfell, good morning. Rico, good morning. Lizzie, good morning. Michael, good morning. CL, good morning. Good morning, T. Good morning, A. Nancy, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Didi, good morning. Eddie, good morning. Donovan, good morning. Sam, good morning. Chi, good morning. Venna, good morning. Josh, good morning. Andy, good morning. MBOX did not work out for me yesterday. Hoping to get a winner today. Sounds good. Sultan, good morning. Kevin, good morning. Eric, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Lisa, good morning. Good morning, LT. Sandra, good morning. Chef, good morning. Sean, good morning. JR, good morning. Diddy, good morning. CM, good morning. Good morning, guys. Yeah, no, so I like this one going into the open. I just, wish it would break above that VWAP. So we'll keep a close eye on it. I like how it's consolidating above the 50 there, the 50 EMA and $1.50, $1.45. But that thing doesn't go anywhere till we break the VWAP. So that's the problem. Also, we're not that far away from the open, so maybe we don't do anything till the open. QK, good morning. Kidlin, good morning. Haley, good morning. Doug, good morning. Salah, good morning. Good morning, everybody. So that looks interesting. There are a whole bunch of names that look interesting. This one is just a crazy crackhead stock. They had some news this morning, and the stock is up almost 600% now on a dip, right? Because that thing was a lot higher. It's also testing the VWAP now, though. So KELLYB, not sure how we're gonna play with this one once the market opens, but we'll see. Dan, good morning, Dan. Yeah, no, it's been good. Yep, exactly, Andy. They all seem to be struggling at mental levels. MZ Blanco, good morning. Yeah, so watch that VWAP at 75 ish, 74, 75 ish for this one. AIM, look at AIM. AIM just had a nice pop, right? So do we like this one the most? Yeah, we like this one the most, right? So like I said, I like how it's holding above that $1.50. Yeah, the VWAP was being stubborn there, that's for sure. Alrighty, so again, I think we like this one the most just because it is I don't know, just looks nice. Also, they had news this morning. Not that the news affects it, so much, but yeah, it's always an added bonus. Yang, good morning. Have a green day as well, Missy. Good morning. Good morning. How's your weather this morning, Dan? Still cold? But this one we need to break above $1.90. That's our next resistance. Alrighty, for AIM. So we definitely like AIM going into the open. Alrighty, that was really good consolidation of the bottom though. Like this, at this level, this is not the level to do it, is it? The level we were looking and liking was this level here because it was a retest. If you look left somewhere, we put this line here for a reason. So just ignore the. But anyway, so again, that was a bit of a retest of after the push. And then the fact that it was holding above that $1.50 and the 50 EMA and slowly consolidating was a good thing. So all it had to do was break that stupid VWAP. Again, the level to take a gamble on this was consolidating off the bottom and curling, right? So if you wanted to. Now though, now that we're so close to this last high, you almost want to be a bit more cautious here. So we're gonna need to break out of there. So again, we like this one going into the open. But we're gonna need to break that high there to really get pushing. PPCB was good, had a nice run, initial pop and then dip and then curl. That was really nice, and then popped all the way to 30 cents. But now we're looking a bit weak. So your next support, if we break below 20 cents, it's kind of consolidating at 20 cents now. If it doesn't hold that level, then you're definitely looking for that last low, 1830 here. So this last dip here when the news came out, right? Yeah. So alrighty. BNAI, this one's had a good run this morning too. Never seems to want to die, which is good. But it doesn't seem to be doing much right now, though, other than just consolidating. So stay above $26.50, $27 here with this one. Alrighty. TEAD is okay too. It's holding the 200 EMA really nicely, but it's also on a downtrend. So you have some support around 66, 67. If it can break above 75 cents, then it might be ready for a pushback to retest the high there, closer to 85. Again, KELLYB is a crackhead stock. With a super small float, right? But we know the VWAP at this point. Honestly, we've come to realize that the VWAP is no joking point, right? Once you get to the VWAP, it's always a problem. So you want to be careful, especially if a stock is getting like a nice run up to the VWAP, right? Where people are happy with the gains, it can be an issue. So this level is going to be important. So resistance, like I said, $74 to $75. That's going to be the breakout if you can. You're looking for closer to 85. In terms of like dips, you want to look for 60 and then closer to 52 for this one for KELLYB. Alrighty, guys. Cool. Question for you guys in the chat though. What's your favorite name going into the open? Let me know. Kelly, good morning. Just wanted to say a quick hi, so I'll trade a little bit with you guys. Okay, sounds good. Jack, good morning. Jericho, good morning. Good morning, Ferguson. AIM? Yeah, I'm not surprised. My name is a leading gainer. Yeah. Yes. It is. AIM. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so for this one, we're definitely going to need that breakout. AIM? Yeah. Bitcoin's a scam. Jericho, what are you doing with that? It's a scam. Yeah, it seems like everybody likes AIM, which honestly, I'm not surprised. Right? This one looks the most presentable, you know? Yeah. Jericho, don't get scammed, please. Bitcoin's an absolute scam. Stay away. Okay, there you go. KB, good job on that. Good job. If we shorted Bitcoin, when we started saying Bitcoin was a scam, we would have made some nice monies. I blame Dan for this. Stan's fault. Okay, so let's see. 4 minutes before the market opens, yeah. RNAZ is one that we haven't talked about yet, but it looks okay too. Right, so a lot of resistance at 1350, but some support the closer you get to between 11 and 1050. So we don't mind this one as well. We'll see if it can pop at the open though. This one has a history of some nice pops, some nice pump and dumps. Alrighty, so that's another one to definitely have on the watch list. You can see though that it's bouncing off the 200 EMA at the bottom here, which is nice. Right, so again, closer to 11, and then closer to that last retest, so closer to 1050. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. LIMN. The reason I haven't pulled that up is because it really hasn't done anything that anything brand new, and we've been watching that thing for 2 days now. Yeah. You can see why though, right? Like we've been in this range up and down so many times. It needs brand new volume and it needs to break out. So it doesn't look horrible. Just nothing new. Nothing new. You're not going to box L. Is box L doing anything this morning, Flip? Come on now. Luna, good morning. I don't like it. I do. It's right here. It's not doing anything. Right? So we're watching all these stocks to see which one can give us the vibes at the open, right? So TEAD, you have support, like I said earlier, closer to 66, 67, but it's on that downtrend, so it needs to break that downtrend. Alrighty. EBO, sure, I can. Sure. GDTC. Kind of the same rubbish, huh? Right? Like this one looks like it's gonna need, just make sure I have the right one, yeah. There's really nothing happening here, EBO. Dave, good morning. Yeah. So there's really nothing happening here. Right? Yeah, and I looked at a CISS earlier. There's a nice bounce there. This one has a lot of work to do as well. You're kind of sitting at the double top right now at $2.03, 204, 203. So you need to break above that level as well. So there are a whole bunch of names that we could be looking at, but they're not really doing anything crazy, right? Like it's curling from the bottom, but it's failing at resistance. So we're not paying attention to a lot of these names that are just kind of sitting. You know, you can only look at so many at the same time. Um, yeah, and you can tell like they're all just dead, right? So the one that we like the most is AIM, right? AIM. Maybe that changes at the open like it often does, which is okay. We'll just adapt, you know. So and here goes the open. Now let's see which of these names can actually behave. AIM, are you gonna be the one, or are you gonna be the one? AIM says, "Don't worry, I'm gonna be the one." Why? Because I am the one. Anyways, just be careful. Like I said, the entry price is not here, right? Not at the open, not in a supply zone, right? That opportunity was closer to $1.50. So if it can dip closer to $1.50 and actually hold, then that's good. If not, it needs to break above $1.90. Alrighty. KELLYB is halted, which is not a surprise. So KELLYB is halted at $66. But again, that VWAP was a problem. Now it's holding up the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA, which is good, right? You can see those lines. So again, these lines are not just here for decoration, huh? They're here to serve a bit of a purpose. Again, what stock do we still like the most, guys? We still like AIM because none of the other ones are really doing anything super special, right? Like I said, AIM seems to be the one that's the most presentable, but we have that resistance we need to break above, right? But you can tell that it's trying, but it needs to break above that level though. If it wants to get brand new volume, it's going to need to break out. Otherwise, people are just going to keep selling it at resistance here. So let's see. This one popped a little bit and hit resistance and backed off LIMN. So not a whole lot going on there. BNAI is still holding that 27-ish support, so that's good. And then $30 resistance there. So, but that's a solid bounce there at the open. CISS is still sitting at that 200 EMA, so 203. Right? TEAD is not doing anything other than going down to retest the 200 EMA. So watch for support around 67, 66 ish for TEAD. Alrighty. AIM is still fighting in that same range. Volume usually comes in, when you're breaking through resistance, people tend to FOMO, right? So it still looks the best, but it still needs to break out to get that volume. RNAZ isn't really doing anything. PPCB is just consolidating at 20 cents, which is not bad, right? Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. And yeah, where's the market maker? Maybe the market maker doesn't show up at the open. Here we go. Come on, Mr. Market Maker. Come on, Mr. Market Maker. $1.75. Yeah, you're gonna see a whole bunch of there we go. 178. Mr. Market Maker says, yeah, 180, 184. So again, just be careful though, guys. The closer we get to that top, the more resistance we have, right? So if you're not in a position, this is easier for people that are in positions to manage, unfortunately. But it's gonna need to break out already. It's gonna need to do the breakout dance. AIM, are you gonna be disappointing and just sit at resistance? You definitely want to make sure you have a stop loss though. Alrighty, make sure you have a stop loss on this, please. Um, LIMN is popping to that 180 again. So just because we said this thing wasn't doing anything, it's just sitting at the top of the range, which will be interesting. Rejected, nothing happening. CISS, little 200 EMA retest there. So we are still around that $2.04, right? Trying, which is not bad. AIM got rejected at that resistance, but again, this is why we keep saying like this is not this. If you're not in a position, this is not the time for you to be jumping in. Not at 170, 180, right? You're just asking for trouble at that point. Because if we don't break out, you're going to be first in line at the factory to get slapped. Alrighty, so when you can clearly see that there's resistance right there, right? You can see that it's been a problem. Yeah, it's easier for people that are in already to kind of have stop losses and move them up or scale out than it is for you to jump in. You're in this one, KB? It's doing well. Yeah, slow and steady. Again, nothing crazy. It's like 2 cents higher than what we looked at last time, but at least it's doing something. CISS is slowly. Actually, that was the wrong one. CISS does look good though. Your next resistance is that view out there, but it looks like it's breaking through. I think said, don't you doubt me. Don't you doubt me. And then your last double top was $2.20. Nice pop. Very, very nice pop. You're in both of those. Benji, the slab factory. Yeah, so again, just watch that 220 KB for your resistance. Looks like it's going to break through though. Let's see. Again, AIM is coming back down to retest the bottom of the range. Right, so as much as we like AIM and we want it to break, we want it to go. If it doesn't break out, it doesn't go anywhere. Right, KELLYB is halted up again, by the way. So we're back to retesting the VWAP and halted up again. Like this thing is gonna be like this all day, isn't it? Why? Because the stupid thing has according to TradingView, the float is 250,000 shares, 255,000 shares. So super small float. The usual volume is 2,000 shares a day. You could tell that thing has a low float. Craziness. $2.22. No, for AIM, let's see if we can stay above this 50 EMA, just get closer to $1.50, and then give us another curl. Alrighty, it's still really early. It's been 6 minutes. It's been 6 minutes. You're not gonna miss anything because you waited the first 10 minutes. Promise. RNAZ is still just playing with the 1050 support, still on that downtrend. So there's not a whole lot going on with this one. So again, for AIM, watch closer to $1.50 and see if it can consolidate off the same bottom, and then give us another curl. Right? You do not buy a stock at resistance unless it's actually giving you the boom skis. If not, you stay away. Otherwise, you end up regretting it. LIMN just does the same thing, right? Which is why we didn't pull it up initially. Like it's just the same thing, right? So for the last 2 days now, just up, down, up, down, up, down. So back to retesting $1.60. Come on, AIM. Give us some consolidation and give us a curl. Give us some consolidation and a curlies. Let's see. CISS is looking good though, slowly pushing into that next supply zone there. So the actual pre-market double top was closer to $2.35. Yeah, so that's a nice push. That is a very nice push. A very nice push. So it looks like AIM is kind of holding the 50 EMA for now. We're getting a solid bounce off RNAZ, right? So that's support at the bottom there. So from 10, 50 ish is holding. So that's good. This one needs to give us a bit more volume though. At 225, sheesh, Dan. Oh my goodness. Goodness. Oh, we need a red to green day, Dan. Give us a red to green day. Red to green. That's a very nice pop actually. Yeah. That is a very nice pop. 4. Can you imagine the chaos? AIM is really dipping to the bottom of that range then. So yeah, that $1.50 again. Wait for that consolidation. If it doesn't consolidate, maybe we go back and retest the 200 EMA. Alrighty. So patience, 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 patience. Honestly, all of these stocks, as much as we're getting like price action at the open, all of these stocks still seem a bit suspicious. Very, very suspicious. This is why I don't mind, waiting the first 30 minutes, right, and then kind of picking the best technical looking stock and playing with it. Right, definitely don't mind. I don't mind. JTI with a bit of a pop there. KELLYB is unhalted. So is so KELLYB is just flying here, just flying. Surprised they haven't halted it up in that next candle. Did anybody buy one share of this thing? Did anybody take one share to see what it did? $83. 670%. Sheesh. Feed is halted up. Why does that seem like not a volatility halt? Hmm. KELLYB. Good morning, Raven. 143. No, I think what you're looking for is simply just consolidation on AIM, right? We might want to go all the way down to retest that 200 EMA, but there's also a little bit of support. Like if you look at these wicks, those wicks are actually right there, so I can see why you're looking at that level, Komar, right? You can definitely see why you're looking at that level. So maybe that's a level for you to, yeah. But again, I prefer if that thing could start to consolidate just in case it wants to break down, because you could tell it's still trying to decide what it wants to do here. Right? There's still a lot of selling pressure on those candles. So is it going to hold that level? Or is it going to come back to the 200 EMA, closer to $1.35? So yeah, maybe give it another candle here to see if it's consolidating. Alrighty. Looks like LIMN came all the way back up again. KELLYB is halted, by the way, at $91 now. Did anybody buy one share of this? The usual magic trick? A Kelly A stock? What's the difference? Well, one's nice, and the other one's my goodness. 82 to 85. Nice A. Well done. La, 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 la. Let's go. You bought 50 shares, Tiffany? Unbelievable. Tommy, you bought five? Two, Larry? Okay, sounds good. CISS is looking very good, KB. Good job on this one, by the way. Where's Thomas? CXAI is finally popping. Yeah. And JTI with another pop as well. Yeah, so that 235 Ajoya. Yeah, $2.35. That pre-market high. You took 10 shares at $60. Nice BSR. Nice. Yeah, like it's a nice gamble on a stock that the float is super low like that. 200,000 shares, 250,000 shares. That's not bad, right? Just don't get greedy with it. We've seen these stocks go to $500. We've also seen them fail right below $100 and crash to the abyss. So you just have to decide what you want to do, because really, like, no one has the answer. Where's Thomas? Come on now. Yeah, so CISS, right? That double top, the actual double top, triple top now at $2.35 ish, got rejected. So watch for a retest of 220. And then Raven, yes, they wanted you out of there. They're like, come on now, get him out, please. AIM is lower than that level we just looked at, right? That 43, right? So this is why we wait for that consolidation, because maybe AIM really just wants to go down to retest the 200 EMA, right? Again, we were skeptical about AIM earlier because AIM never broke out at the double top, right? For any stock to cook at the open, it needs to break out. You just have to do it. If you don't break out, the hopes, no hopes. So for now, we're testing that 200 EMA. Let's see if we can find a way to consolidate and then curl. Alrighty? Consolidate and curl. So again, off that $1.35, hopefully this is it's hit a nice level where it can start to bounce at. Hopefully. Alrighty. LIMN is really looking like it wants to go today. That thing's like, please, I keep failing here, but I would like to go. So that looks good. Let me take a look at JTAI, because that one's been popping up on the on the other screen there on the scanner as well. So that looks nice, doesn't it? Micro penny stock. It's a nice push. See if we can kind of consolidate around 20 cents here before the next push, especially now that it's in a supply zone. NXL, yeah, Justin. Raven posted that last night in Discord. That was a good shout. A good bottom feed shout. A good shout. AIM is trying. It's really trying. The volume just doesn't seem like it's there anymore, but but it is holding the 200 EMA. So that is good. JTI is still pushing into that supply zone, which is nice. Interestingly though, like the VWAP for CISS is closer to 214, 215 there. So maybe that's the level it wants to hold. This one's still halted, by the way. KELLYB is still halted. And the RNAZ is still just sitting in that same range. So if that thing can get a bit of volume, it might end up pushing. Okay. AIM is trying. It's trying. So, it's like one penny at a time, Again, the 200 EMA was okay. The 200 EMA was okay, but it needs more volume because it doesn't seem to want to really push. And this one's still halted. Still halted. With some of these names dipping though, maybe now AIM can finally push, maybe. Interesting. Hopefully this doesn't end up, being one of those 2-hour halts now. I don't think it should be. The market just opened, so I don't think we've hit that threshold yet, Don't think we've hit that number yet. LINM keeps testing the above $1.90. Like it wants to break out, but it's not actually doing it. Margin 192. AIM is like, please, I want to bounce. AIM, you can bounce with a bit more, with some volume here. Yeah, every day that thing seems to come back, Tommy, and then leave and then come back. Come on, AIM, where's the volume? Nope, not enough. Not enough. Everybody's too busy buying one share of Kelly, Everybody's too busy waiting for Kelly. Okay, on hold the damn thing. It'll give us something else that's actually breaking out. This is one of those though, like sometimes it is worth the gamble, right? With a really tight stop loss, right? So AIM doesn't look good. It doesn't look bad at all. It just doesn't have the volume. So if the volume can kick in at some point, maybe that thing goes for a nice run. Especially since it had the juice in pre-market. We'll see. 50, Chris. I know. Yup. LIMN is really trying to break above. Really trying to break out. Kevin, what's your position in box L? Yeah, you're getting a nice curl here, Briss. Bistro boys. Yeah, you're getting a nice curl up the bottom here, 65 cents for TEAD. So let's see if that thing can actually get to moving here. Get to pushing. Yeah, it's not bad. Alrighty, you are sitting at a downtrend now though. Without volume, it's gonna just go back into the demand zone. So you're gonna need to break above 71 cents. If you can, then you're looking for 74 to 75 for your next resistance. And then above those two levels, then you might have a bit more juice. But for now, it's still trying off the bottom here. You got in. Okay. Let me take a look actually. 170 for box L. Okay, so you're slightly green in that position. That's not bad. Yeah, your entry is not bad at all. It's not really doing much. Right? You're playing with a yesterday play, which is fine. You just yeah. It has a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Oh, there's Kelly, guys. Kelly's at $100 now, and Kelly's halted up again, by the way. So everybody's just waiting for Kelly, you know. Everybody's waiting for Kelly. Kelly, Kelly, Kelly. See, like again, sometimes like just one share of something like this that's crazy, and you know it's crazy. We know that already, right? We know the damn thing is a crackhead. It's 200,000 shares. So and it's halting every candle. So it already, you know, we know that already. So sometimes it's worth that one share. Not a crazy gamble, you know. And all of a sudden the money's been doubled. Craziness, huh? Sheesh. At 1,000%. You know this thing is gonna hit 1,000% unless they drop it after the next on halt. Cam, I know, right? Can you imagine? Shish. That was a nice base too coming into the open, you know. Or the break above the 200 EMA and then the retest, or the break above the VWAP. That was all of these areas were kind of good. Right? As much as it's halting up, like some of the technical levels are really good actually. Not bad. Type yes in the chat if you're holding Kelly. Type yes in the chat if you're holding Kelly. They do, Ajoya. They do. Every name. Jonah, yes. Nancy, yes. Yeah. Some of you guys took the gambles. Again, like I said though, at some point you have to look at this and say, hey, like I'm happy with this. Yeah, I could go a lot higher, but I'm happy with this. You know, so one of these on halts, you just have to be ready to exit the position and run. Run for the hills. Right? Because I don't think anybody can tell you where this thing is gonna top out at. Like you just have to be willing to FOMO a small amount, and jump out without being greedy. You know. Yep. Kevin, she did. She definitely did. Is it a coincidence that was KB? Are you not KB? Yeah, Kelly, are you still in the chat? 2,000% tell me that's what you want. We saw a stock go up at almost 4,000% last week, right? Kind of the same vibe. So it's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Just in case anybody was wondering, public service announcement: Bitcoin is still a scam. So yeah, just in case anybody was tempted, it's a scam. Anyways, LMN just stalled too much at that resistance. It couldn't break out, and then they rejected it. Right, AIM is still in that same stupid area. Right, just not enough volume to actually get pushing. RNAZ kind of the same boat, right? Just stalling and going sideways. CISS is retesting the 200 EMA, which is nice. So it's good that it's holding that level. So hopefully it can continue to stay in curl. And JTI is looking good still. So you're testing a bit of a double top. Um, so that looks okay. JTAI. Okay. Yep. They slapped it. KELLYB. Does KELLYB have any sympathy plays? No, not really. Don't think you can really look for sympathy play on something like this. This company is based in what's the which state is MI? What did they even do? Talent Solutions, professional industry science. That's a lot of things. That's a lot of different things. Um, Consulting consists of global talent supply chain and workforce. Blah 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 blah. No wonder the stock is pumping. Michigan, yeah, Michigan. Thank you. So they're based in Michigan. At least it's not a China company, you know. They seem like a China company. They seem like a China company, that's for sure. Let me take a look at their website. Just because. Kelly Services. Mm-hmm. No, I don't want any of your cookies, Kelly. Connecting people to interesting. Interesting. Huh. I mean, you look at the website, it doesn't look bad. It makes a lot more sense on the website than it does on TradingView. Still seems fishy though. You're buying a 109. Hmm. La, 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 la. There's nothing overly exciting here. Knows exactly which cookies to reject. uh, no, come on, KB. La, 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 la. Anyways, let's move on. Come back to Kelly's been around. Yeah, if you look, the website says, even TradingView says that they've been around since 1964. You know, 1964. That was the first sighting of Bigfoot. 1946. Yeah, yeah. Posture. Yep. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. Yes, yes. Pump it. You did? Oh, wow. Wow, very cool. Yeah, no, when you look at the website, it makes a lot more sense than it does on TradingView. So I'm surprised though that like an American company has a float like that. Like, how's that possible? Hmm. How's that possible? We use Kelly Services as a contractor for substitutes. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's why they have so many different random things on the website or on TradingView. It's a whole lot of things they do. Is it saying 92 now? Yeah, we'll see what happens after the on halt. Yeah, like I said, at some point on stuff like this, guys, like I don't think anybody can really give you an answer to like how high something like that can go. You just have to be willing to yeah, maybe the warrant. Maybe the warrant. The markets are bleeding. Bleeding today. Bleeding. Chris, yeah. AIM is still holding the trying to reclaim it. And JTI is still looking okay. 23 cents. AIM needs to do a lot better than, Missy needs to do a lot better than just trying. That's what it needs to do. It needs to squeeze. It needs to look at Kelly and aim to be Kelly. Aim to be Kelly. Good job, RM. Good scalp. Kelly is a labor hire company in New Zealand. Yeah, I think Kelly's all over the place. I think Kelly's all over the place, which we don't mind. Maybe that's a good thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens when Kelly gets unhalted here. If you're looking for a stop loss on Kelly though, If you're looking for a stop loss in Kelly, I would almost recommend that like that stop loss goes right below the previous halt. There goes Kelly. Kelly's on halted and 124. Alrighty, so yeah, you don't want Kelly, like you don't want Kelly like going up and then halting. Like, again, you just have to decide whatever you want to do, you have to do that. At some point you have to decide to take those gains. Because Kelly's now halted down at 109.99. Yep. Kelly is halted down. That was a nice pop though, 125. Yeah. Uh, Donsky, I think I think Bitcoin's a scam. I think the only thing that can save it is the Clarity Act. So some institutional monies can come in. So until then, they just keep crashing it, right? So yep, yeah. No, I think that's a good thing. I think the Clarity Act is a good thing for crypto, right? The details are in the name, you know. There are a lot of institution. There's a lot of institutional money that wants to go in there, but isn't quite sure. So I think that stuff would clarify it. But now though, Bitcoin's a scam, and it's gonna continue to be a scam until Trump does something. Yeah. All the Trump promises, so the crypto bros could vote for Trump, and then he's gone to fight Greenland rather than actually yeah. A lot of these names are just kind of going sideways here. Yep. 140 is not bad. Like 140 is not bad at all for AIM, right? AIM is still doing a good job of holding that 200 EMA. The volume needs to kick in there. There goes BNAI. Finally popped. Finally popped. So yeah, watch that view up there. Watch the view apps. Alrighty, so yeah, right above $30, you're gonna see some resistance. Ron, uh, let me hush. I'm gonna hush too, KB. I'm gonna hush before we all get in trouble. You know. Anyways, JTI is looking really good though. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. And I will not. uh, yes. It's a very nice push. That was a really good breakout actually for JTI. Is AIM curling or is it dead? No, AIM is trying to curl. It just doesn't have the volume, Jack. Just doesn't have the volume. Just does not have the volume. Gaining attention as an alternative asset, but the developments are not part of the economy and political trends. No, that sounds like a scam. Lot, that sounds like a scam. Yeah, Bitcoin is not gaining any attention as an alternative asset, right? Bitcoin hasn't been around that long to be considered an alternative asset, and I think you can tell by the performance. Right, when the markets crash, where do people want to go? Right, they will immediately leave crypto first. You notice how crypto has been crashing first before anything else, right? Because crypto is considered the scam of investments. Right, now the markets are starting to dip, right, and where they're potentially rotating to, they're already rotating into precious metals, right? So you could always tell by the performance of stuff where like people feel safe in, right? And it's definitely not Bitcoin, definitely not crypto. So at some point, maybe I think that's the hope for a lot of people, but that time is definitely not now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Eventually, probably. Definitely not yet, though. Definitely not yet. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Mm-mm. Yeah. At the very least, it's not dying, though. Well, we say that. It needs to break out there. Okay. Yeah, it's crawling like a snail. That's what it's doing. LIMN is slowly coming back as well, though. CISS, yeah, that was a good bounce off the 200 EMA. Good bounce. You're in at 142, Cam. Yeah, like these are not horrible entries. It just doesn't have the volume. So hopefully at some point it can break out, right? Surprise! BNAI failed at the VWAP. No, I think we know. At this point, every time a stock is going to the VWAP, we're concerned about the VWAP every single time, right? Every time we're concerned about the VWAP. So that level is always going to be a problem. Kelly still halted down. Let's see what happens after the on halt. And then CISS is just pushing there nicely. Pushing, pushing. Today is one of those days where you're just looking for quick scalpies. Nothing seems super clear. NPT halted up. You left Kelly. She's too scary. You made money though, right? Which is good. What's your stop loss on that thing, Greg? I just answered that question for AIM. What's your stop loss on that thing? Let me know. Right? I don't mind AIM at the price that it's at. I just think it needs more volume. And if the volume can come in, then it can push. There goes CISS. Are you still in this one, KB? You took the monies and ran. Yeah, like AIM goes up, but then it just gets rejected. Right? The candles are super, super slow. Super, super slow. Hopefully for BNI though, it can start creating those higher lows and then eventually break above the view up and then just send it. I think that would be the hope. Break out and send it. Yeah. Okay, sounds good, Greg. Yeah. Let's hope the volume can come in. Yeah. Now this one's been the good performer today, hasn't it? CISS. Do, 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 do. 228, 229. That's a good push. Again, that last resistance was right there. So if we can break above that level, then push it for 250. Push it, push it, push it, push it. Do, 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 do. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, so just be aware though, KB, for the double tops there potentially. I say double tops. You like this level has been tested. This is the fourth time now it's testing this level. So just be mindful. Just be mindful. A little bit of rejection. You sold? You sold your position? Okay. I mean, you did really good though. You've been holding this one for a little bit. You did good on it. Kelly B is halted down again, guys. So unhalted and immediately halted. Yeah. 40 MJ. Yeah. Not surprised. Hmm. The bid's at 80. Yeah. Yeah. When it's halted down like that, the bids will usually drop to and then kind of play around for a few minutes before the on halt. This might just be a retest for CISS for now, at least, of 220. 220. AIM is still just chilling there at 140. Just chilling. The good thing is that it stopped crashing though, you know. Where's SPY going? So there's a level at like 674 ish, right? Like 674, 675 ish. There's a level there to watch. Yeah, it's definitely not aiming for boomskis. CISS is the one that wants to aim for boomskis, maybe. So it's holding that 9 EMA and the 220. Just sitting here with no price action. Yeah. Yes, yes. That thing needs some juice. It needs some energy. It needs some energy. Right at you average, keeping me on the edge. I know, I know. Yeah, this one has just not had any volume today though. Just no volume at all. And let's see if it can keep staying above the 200 EMA. And then CISS just keeps going back and forth with that resistance as well. Everything just seems super sus right now. Super sus. Super sus. Super sus. Mm-hmm. No position. Yeah, absolutely. No, we have it up here. Um, if you close below this because most of these candles are just going back and forth between 20 cents and 1950. So there might be, if you can start curling here, this might be an okay spot. If not, you're looking for 1850. Chris, if you're not in a position yet, so just be careful here. It's not really consolidating yet. It's still kind of trending down. These candles are still giving you lower highs. So if it can start to consolidate again between 20 cents and 1950, if you can start to go sideways here, that might be a good spot for a curl. If not, then you're looking for 1850-ish. Alrighty. Yeah. You cut it? Okay. Again, the danger with that is you're still, I like Greg's stop loss a bit more, which is fine. Like whatever you want to do is fine, right? Because like that's the actual bottom there. So when you cut it at 136, 2 cents from the bottom, you run a risk. Cam, you run a risk that that thing says, "Thanks for selling, Cam. Get out of here, please." Maybe they just wanted to get Cam out. Cam was holding it back, maybe. Now watch Mr. Market. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Cam was holding this thing back. Look at that. That's the most volume it's had in the last how long now? They said, Cam, get the hell out of here. I'm kidding, by the way. We still need to break up out of the stupid 145 range, though. Yeah, yeah. So it needs to break above 145. Then the volume will actually. Yeah, again, this is the danger you run every time you sell a stock that, like if you know that this is the bottom, right? If this is the actual bottom and you're selling anything right above that level, you're running the risk that it double bottoms and it goes back up. So, not that you're making the wrong decision, is you always run that risk. So that's why sometimes it's advisable if you're gonna sell it 2 cents above that price, you might as well just wait a second and put the stop loss right below, just in case. Just in case. Just in case. But again, this thing definitely needs more volume though. Super, super slow. It's important. Yeah. Just one of those momentum stocks, DP. Yeah, there's no news on it. Yeah, just momentum. Yeah, just momentum. Sheesh, everything. There's nothing that like is super super clear today. Yeah, Caitlin. Yeah, no, it happens. It happens a lot. So that's why like when you get into a position, you might as well be aggressive with the stop loss. If you're not, and it's going down low, you might as well just put it at the previous. Give it a bit more room and put it right below the previous low, just in case. Because I've seen people do that a lot, and then I'm like, wait, 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 wait. So you really held the stock from $5 to $1, and then you sold it at $1, rather than putting your stop loss at 99 cents, and then the next day it's $10, right? So people make that mistake quite often. Not fun though. Definitely not fun. Definitely not fun. Yep, needs to break out. This one's been again, one of the good ones today with the way that it's been moving. So it looks like we can't really break out of that 145, the 50 EMA for AIM, not quite yet. So it's not like you're missing anything, Cam. Uh, HP the Dunsky. Make sure you're not delayed. You might be delayed. You may dabble in XRP. I mean, when the markets are crashing like this, it might be a good time to dabble. When crypto's crashing like that, yeah, might be a good time to dabble in stuff you like. KELLYB has been halted for a while now, huh? It's been halted a while. And IVF with a bit of a bounce. There goes Kelly. Kelly's unhalted. 78. I wonder if this is a dip to retest that breakout spot, like right around this area, which would make a lot of sense. Right. So last breakout, see if it can hold. $75 in 3 days, probably. Is Kelly halted down? Yeah, it looks like Kelly's halted down at 75. This is why we keep saying, at some point, guys, you just have to not be greedy. At some point, you have to say, thank you very much. I'm just going to take the gains because I don't know how high this thing is going to go. I also don't know when it's going to die, right? So maybe we can retest this area, the previous breakout, and go back up. But again, you had the opportunity to sell above $100, right? Sheesh, AIM, what are you doing? What's AIM doing here? Come on. CISS. Still just chilling here too. Chris, you see the problem with this, right? No consolidation, just straight abyss. Especially today, you want to make sure that whatever stock you're looking at is really confirming what you're thinking. Yeah. And this one just couldn't do anything. Yeah, so closer to $1.60 maybe, right? And it's had some really good support between $1.60 and $1.65. So we shall see. XTKG. Let me take a look. XTKG. It's a nice little breakout. Some of these penny stocks might start running today. David, what's your position in BATL? Yeah, when the markets are sus, people tend to move on to like penny stocks instead. Okay. Let me take a look then. BATL. I'll take a look. And this is a nice push on this one. That's a very nice push. That was a good breakout. There's a bit of a supply zone up there though, so just be careful. Cooking. Going for that 40 cents. The 40 cents. Oh, here comes the Mr. Golden Candle. You got stopped out of AIM. Okay. Yeah, AIM is just annoying at this point, but it's still in that same range. So just in the same area. Let me take a look. So BATL, you're in 10 shares. Uh, this doesn't look amazing, does it? I mean, the only good thing here is that like if you look to the left hand side and you look at these daily candles, you have a lot of support at 220. Alrighty, so I'm not quite sure what your average is, David. But as long as this thing stays above 220, you have a chance. It should be okay. If it breaks below 220, though, it opens up a lot of room to the downside. So just have a plan there for your position, please. It really is. That thing always finds a way to bounce back. It's especially the last 2 days. The last 2 days, and this one got rejected. CISS, right? You can see the resistance at the top. The red zone, the double tops, rejection. Nothing to see. The AIM just got rejected as well. They just said, AIM, you know what? Send you to the grave. Since you don't want to do anything important, we're just gonna send you to the abyss. They slapped it. Sheesh. Craziness. Today is just a quick scalpy type of day, isn't it? My goodness. Damn. No. Yeah. AIM said bye bye. Bye bye. Yeah, you might see people switch to names like this one, like penny stocks. Kelly still halted at 75 chase. Yeah, it goes 40 cents for this one though. It goes 40 cents. So it's testing the will it actually break above that level? That's the question. Looks like it wants to. And there goes a little break. Tim? Yeah. No, if you don't feel comfortable, I would just take your time. No, Randy, that's okay. That's okay. Some days are gonna be like that. Some days are gonna be like that. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? So again, off the 200 EMA and a pop. So off this is the third time now that it's bounced off that 200 EMA. So maybe this time, ooh, that thing looks like it's gonna break out. Looks like it wants to break out. CISS. Unlimited scalpies of the 200 EMA until it doesn't hold. Unlimited scalpies. Here comes. Oof. That is a nice pop. That is a very nice pop. See if this candle can actually close above it though. Anybody still holding CISS? I know some of you guys are still holding this one. I know some of you are still holding this one. Upside, what happened? Yeah, that's a nice push. It's a 50-ish. Yeah, it definitely has work to do. I think it needs to get above $30 and just stay above $30, David. This level at 235 is going to be a magnet until it actually consolidates above that level. Alcatraz, you're in this one? Okay, good jobs. Good jobs. Yep. Yeah, the usual level, MJ. So 245 to 250, the usual spot for selling. The usual spot for selling. Mm. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, looks like we're right back below that spot hub. Yeah. Right back below. Yo, Laura, are you seeing the blood on the streets today? Are you seeing the chaos? Craziness, huh? Blood on the streets, Laura. Mm, there we go. You're done for the day? Yeah. No, puts were looking primed yesterday and today. Looking primed. Looking primed. The crypto bros are quiet. Yeah, that's because crypto is a scam. 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 Uh, at the open and they paid. Yeah. Yeah, we had that nice pop at the open, but that was just a scam for the abyss. So it looks like yeah, every time we get closer to $1.60 here for LIMN, it tends to bounce, which is good. Kind of similar to you can see the double bottom too though, and the demand zone and the 200 EMA on this one. So that's a good spot. As long as it keeps holding that. KELLYB is still halted down, guys. Right. So interesting area, but it's halted. So there's really nothing we can do here. Uh with BTC, and he's been since it was 126. Yep. Yep. I was watching this this was a while ago because it was just a general market overview interview, and this dude was he was interviewing Tom Lee or somebody like that, talking about the markets and crypto and whatnot. And the dude was like, "Yeah, I have 75% of my wealth. 75% of my wealth in BTC." Can you imagine those people right now? The people that have like 90%. Some people like have all their monies because they believe wholeheartedly. Right? Can you imagine having all your monies in BTC? Shish. There goes LIMN with a nice pop there. He's waiting under the bridge now. Yeah, exactly. Like that's so crazy, isn't it? That's so crazy. VSECU. Craziness. They diversified all into BTC, you know? Like BTC is the way. Well, might as well buy penny stock instead. Like TKG. Because at least this is a scam, but yep, no, that's a nice breakout. Mm, yeah, initially, so yeah, Mario, yeah, crypto stocks, metals all down. Yeah, initially, like when the markets are crashing like this, people always react with panic, you know. Yeah, good job, Jericho. Yeah, so sometimes like when people are not sure what they want to do, right? The first instinct is to sell everything, whether you're holding precious metals, crypto, stocks, sell everything, right? And then they're like, okay, you know what? Maybe I want to start going into safe havens, right? Do, do, do. Yeah, no, this looks good though. Like I said, people might start rotating into penny stocks, right? Penny stocks usually do well when the markets are a little bit chaotic. Ayo, Steph. Josh is going to be scaling in probably, right? Josh is probably going to be scaling into crypto. They would have lost less money by holding Mullen. Seriously, probably, probably, probably. Yeah, no, this has been a good little runner today. Good little runner. Good breakouts. KELLYB is halted. Interestingly enough, it's halted up because it came all the way down to the 200 EMA 61 and then popped to 68 and halted up. Silly price action. Yeah. I mean, we've been saying crypto was a scam from 90,000, 95,000. Crypto is a scam. Now it's at 60, below 67. Right? Crypto is a scam. Crypto is a scam. Well, Bitcoin's a scam. Yeah. I think the hope is that at some point it can find a way to gain trust. But until then, mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah. Nah, 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 nah. Let's see. RBC raised its price target on Google to 400 from 375. So Google got a whole bunch of price target upgrades. I think the problem is the markets are selling off though, so it doesn't really matter. 190, Kevin. Okay, good. Yeah, your entry was good, Kevin. Yeah, your entry for box L was really good, so that makes it a little bit easier. You know, a little bit easier. FFAI, Donovan. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. We need more penny stocks like this one. More penny stocks. VS, the other one just keeps halting. VSECU. For some reason, it's not even showing up though. Interesting. Well, there's nothing we can do with that. What's my take on funded accounts, like funded futures accounts or funded stock accounts? Um, I've never tried a funded stock account, but I've tried a funded futures account, and I think they're fine. Yeah, a futures account. Oh yeah, but yeah, they're fine. Yeah, I like there are a lot of good ones. I used to like Apex because it was cheaper, but yeah, I think Top Step is good, and then my funded futures, I like that one as well. So there's some really good ones. I like the ones that like you can once you pass, you don't have to pay to fund it. MJ. So Apex has way too many rules, too many silly rules. You're in at 178 HVL. Oof, I wish you were in lower. Wish you were in closer to that 165 or something like that. Anyways, what are my thoughts on this now? I think you're kind of sitting. You got in really close to resistance, but you're still kind of close to your entry price. So you need a breakout here. You need this thing to break out. As long as you stay above $1.75, you should be okay. So, but you can tell that you're kind of getting in close to resistance though, right? So you need a breakout there. CISS is bouncing off that 220, so that's nice. 220 bounce, and then you can see that resistance right for TXTKG. So there's a lot of resistance up here, a lot of it. KELLYB is unhalted, guys, and it looks like it's still testing that 200 EMA again. So this 60 area is going to be important for this one. Very important. It's really volatile the way that it's moving. 65. Oh, there goes 71. So it is bouncing off that 200 EMA, Kelly. 72. They're about to halt that damn thing up. Yep. 71, 72, 71. Halt it up. It's a pretty good level though, isn't it? Right? It's not a horrible spot. Right? Kind of a double bottom and the 200 EMA in a demand zone. So not a horrible spot there for Kelly. But when you play with stuff like this, that you just have to look at stuff like that and still understand that it's super volatile and it's more of a gamble than anything else. More of a gamble than anything else. Dan, how are futures going? Are you cooking? You better be cooking. Better be cooking. Chris, hopefully you stayed away from this stupid thing from JTAI. Hopefully. And again, HVL, that 180 needs to be broken, right? 180, 183. Yeah. Yeah, Dan. It's chaos, 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 chaos. Here we go again with this one. Yeah. Just make sure you have a stop loss or something. What do I think of J? What do in IN? Let me take a look. IN LF. Are you in this one, Jay? The volume is pretty light. Volume is pretty light on this. So this is not a momentum stock. This is just something that you're looking at the technicals on, right? What's are you in it? Let me know. This one's been good today, hasn't it? XT. Type yes in the chat if you're holding XTKG. Why? What did I say, Jericho? What did I say? Yeah, no. This has been good with the breakouts. Nancy, good job. Good jobs. You just sold it, right? Okay, that's okay. That's a pretty good spot to be taking gains. That is a very good spot to be taking gains. Say you're gonna have a bit of stalling here at 45, and then if you can break above that level, then we might be looking for a push for 50 cents. There we go. You can see it. You can see that 45 being a problem there. I'll come back after the market has taken its medication and calm down. Seriously, Dan. Yeah. Seriously. Okay, let me take a look then. After the market's taking its medication. 57. I can kind of see why you got into that position there. Just a little bit suspicious. Just because it doesn't have volume, and I think you're looking at this as a momentum stock. You know? It's always hard to deal with stuff like this without, a whole lot of volume. Yeah, so that 200 EMA is going to be important though. It's going to be very important for you. Kelly is back to $80, guys. Look at that. Not bad, huh? Yeah, back to 80, 82, 82.7. That's actually a really nice pop. The view up was a level to watch there, but yeah. Yeah, no, we've been watching, yeah, Raven, yeah. It's been really good. You just have you just have resistance now at 45 cents, which we just talked about. But yeah, no, we've this one's been really good with the breakouts. It was a good breakout right there, another good breakout, and then now we're that 45 cents is going to be a problem. So maybe a retest of that 40 cents. So as long as it stays above 40 cents there, that's okay. Robinhood, the stock or the platform? 43. Very nice. That's a good scalp. That's a very good scalp. If this thing breaks about 50 cents, I think we're going to see more penny stocks start to move, especially in this market, right? So we often talk about how, like, when the markets crash, it doesn't really affect momentum stocks. It doesn't, right? Obviously, we're seeing names like this move, but it usually does initially, right? Initially, people are like, oh my goodness, I'm seeing blood all over the place. My retirement accounts are going to zero. Oh my goodness, right? But then the more we dip or the more we go sideways, the more people realize, like, hey, you know what? Whatever. And then the momentum stocks get back to cooking, right? So initially, like, was slower, or you're seeing, random pump and dumps here and there. That's because people are just, focused on other things, so they're just scared, right? So yeah, it's not. Yeah, I think that's because the stock is just all over the place too, all over the place. Get anything in return? Seriously, Dan. Seriously. It was fine. Aim, la 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 la. Yeah, yeah, we were fine coming into the open. And some of these stocks have honestly done well today. Like CISS has done well. XTKG has done well. Right? You could have had some good scalps on LIMN, right? Like over and over. So there are some scalps to be had. Kelly was a good scalp too initially, right? That was a nice pop. So we're always gonna get these scalps, right? Always, always, always. Just sometimes when the market's behaving suspicious like that, you're gonna see a lot of pump and dumps. Nothing's like you're not gonna see anything go up, 1,000%, 500%, 200%. It's gonna be super sussy, especially initially, and then eventually we move on. Even the market maker is sleeping in today. He's like, nope, not today, not today. Virus says, I just checked my portfolio. F this. Uh, Stay away from looking at your 401k until summer, Steph. Yeah. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Come on, something else. We need boomskis. Really? That was 2 hours ago. So look at this. Trump sold $5 million in Bitcoin. Wow. I don't know if that's true though, but that seems to be again probably somebody else managing these accounts, but probably the criminals. But that's what this Twitter account says though. Trump just sold $5 million worth of Bitcoin. That was an hour ago. Mr. President. See, I told you guys. I told you guys. These guys, all of them, politics. Buy high, sell low. Even the president panicked. Ah. Unbelievable. Again, I don't know if this Twitter account is accurate, but it seems to be though. That account has almost, yeah, 300,000 subscribers. So uh yeah, yeah, I can post the account, like the account. Yeah. Who knows which Trump it is though. But anyways. Ah, there it goes. That's a really nice push on XTKG. This one's been good. So close above that 45 cents, then we might be looking for we might be looking for that 50 cents, obviously, right? Really nice push. And then this one's been excellent. Excellent. So again, even when the markets suck, there's always something out there which is cooking. Very nice. Nancy, are you still in this one? You sold. Yeah, the president was watching the stream. He's like, "Damn, Bitcoin is a scam." He's like, you know what? Maybe these guys were right. Dan, we talked about that yesterday a little bit, right? Especially Bitcoin, especially Bitcoin. Do, 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 do. XTKG, beautiful. 13%. Yeah, everything is just selling off. Buy the Bitcoin dip or wait for the dip to dip. Well, you could always scale in slowly, D. Right? If you're waiting for dip to dip, you could just scale in, right? Knowing that Bitcoin is a scam, but you're gonna lose your money. Ah. Yeah, so brand new highs on this one here. Looking good. So here comes that 50 cent test. 50 cents. Break, break, break. Has anybody seen that TV show called Entourage? Anybody seen that? I was watching that for a little bit, and like the amount of people that are in there from like way back when, one of the best shows ever. Crazy, huh? Yeah, I was watching that for a little bit. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Everybody that's famous now was in this show. How crazy is that? Yeah, crazy. Now we've been saying Bitcoin's a scam for the last month now, D. From below 100, from as soon as you break below 100K, Bitcoin's a scam, and it's gonna keep scamming down. But if you could scale in, right? Scale in. It was a good show, yeah. Heated rivals, rivalry. 48 pennies. Come on, just push for that 50 cents already. KELLYB is unhalted, by the way, and it's still looking really good. So that was a perfect retest of the the bottom, and then pop. Yeah. Jericho. There he goes, $90. That's a really good dip buy from the from like 60. Yeah. That's a really nice bounce. Bitcoin's like Johnny Drama. Ah, yep. It really is. CM? Oh, okay, okay. Crazy. That it made me think, like, so did they, like, did the Epstein people make everybody in that TV show famous, or what the hell's going on there? La, 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 la. Breaks below. She asked why. I said because NQ can be irrational longer than I can be savage. She said, I thought you're good at this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. You have to tell her this is part of the game. Some days you have to realize, like, hey, I'm only halfway to the goal, but that goal is way more than most people make. And honestly, like, I just wanna not screw it up because I don't trust the markets. Come on, 50 cents. Uh, okay, interesting. Yeah, 50 cents is gonna be that little problem there. It got slap rank. Yeah, everything's getting slapped today. I thought you were good at this, Dan. If a blind man travels abroad, is he allowed to see sights? Ah. Yeah, no, Kelly B, that was a really sweet bottom. So a high of 95, 98 actually, almost back to $100 in that push. I'm sure that level is going to be a profit taking level for a lot of people though. Yeah, that was a solid buy there. Off the double bottom, the demand zone, the 200 EMA. Yeah, nice. Good job, Shane. La 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 la. At the very least, though, KELLYB is actually trading now. No longer halting every few candles. No longer halting every few candles, which is good. Mm, mm. The commercial above. Commercial. Commercial above. What commercial? Like on the stream, Dan? Oh, like the likes. Smash the like, guys. Do better. The markets are slow enough to smash the likes. Yeah, I think he's saying, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, smash the like, everybody. If you haven't already, please and thank you. Yeah, smash the like, hit that subscribe, all the fun things. Please. Can we get something else? So this might just be a retest of 45 cents here. So if we can stay above this level and curl, that would be perfect on XTKG. That would be perfect. Did you end up selling those houses, Caitlin? Sometimes you're painfully slow. Ah, yes. I wasn't sure what you meant by commercial. Anyways, time for work. Sounds good, KB. Have a wonderful day at work. Make some monies. Alrighty. Yeah, if it can break above $100, if it can break above $100, then you might see another push on Kelly here. In the process, okay. Fine. A nice expensive rental listing. Yes. If you had one in Florida, when we went for the World Cup, then that would have been good. But since you live in the village, Caitlin, in the village, anyways, really good curl on this one here. Really good curl. Good job, RM. Good scalp. Very good scalp. Okay. BTC to 0. Been saying this for a while. Yes. Below float, so more of a swing play than if you're looking at that mobile. RVSN has a history of some nice runs. It also has a history of like not doing anything, like dropping news and doing absolutely nothing. So you're looking for an entry in this. I mean, they've just done another split yesterday, actually. So what's the float now? 0? Interesting. Yeah, no, I think if you're looking for an entry into this split name, the range is so wide, which is annoying, actually. I don't on a name like this, like I don't like looking for bottoms unless it's like a daily bottom. On a smaller time frame, you're basically just looking for breakouts. Alrighty, so the volume is super low on this, right? But it's higher than it usually is. So if you're interested in stuff like this, I definitely probably would be waiting for a breakout above 570. It seems a little bit higher, but I would wait for a breakout. Or honestly, wait for a break above 640. Alrighty, or just let it stay there and just let it stay there and consolidate on the daily time frame. Cool. The current average price for $287. Let's go, Kelly. Kelly's back above $100. That was a really nice dip. Did anybody buy the Kelly dip skis? Type yes in the chat if you're in, Kelly. Uh, Tom? No, we never made it to $200, Raven. Yeah, it's halted at 102.40. Yes. Quite a few of you guys got in then. Good job. 75, Ryan? Okay. Yeah, no, like this was an excellent double bottom actually. You just had to be willing to take the risk. Right? You just had to be willing to take the risk on this one. Yeah, the crossover was really nice actually. Let's see if we can push back for that high. Good job, Pat. We just talked about RVSN. RVSN just popped above $5, but it's still in the same range we just looked at. Right, so it still needs to break out. Still needs to break out. And then looks like we're breaking below 45 cents ish. Playing with it. Okay. 84 sold at 90. As soon as I sell, it popped. King. At least you made some money though. At least you made some money. That's a good question, DP. That's a good question. I'm not sure if it's a direct listing. Right, it's been around for some time now. You can see the candles go way back. Right, so the company itself has been around since 1946. Right, the stock itself go like look at that. No, so yeah, so this it's been around for a long time. You can see the chart. The chart started in like 1984. Right, that was the second sighting of Bigfoot in Nashville. Why? Because Dan was there. Anyways, yeah, so it's not a brand new stock. Again, I'm really surprised though that like a stock that's been around for that long still shows that the float is 255,000. And I'm proud of it. Very interesting. There's definitely something we're missing on this, but I don't think we really care enough to go, digging. It doesn't really change the way we play with it, so we don't care. Steph? No, exactly. Exactly. Okay. RBSN actually broke out of that range, or it's looking like it's testing the top of the range now. RVSN. So see if we can actually give us a breakout there. It looks like it wants to break out though. Yep, there it goes. Candle hasn't closed yet, but it looks like it wants to. I don't know why, but I feel like AIM will come back. It's trying to. What's your entry price, Michael? It's trying to. Um, and then look at that rejection, right? So this is why we said we needed to break above 560 and close above 560 for our VSN, right? So because again, that's your double top. So until it breaks out of this range, it's just playing games here with you. So funny enough, it came all the way back down into that 490 area. Some of these candles are just crazy. TEAD. Yeah, that is a good curl. This is why it's worth taking those gambles. Sometimes, when you're just sitting at the bottom in the green zone, sometimes it's worth taking the gamble with a really tight stop loss. Resistance 76. KELLYB, yeah, I think got rejected. Rejected from the downtrend line, the supply zone. Yep. Maybe we go all the way back down to the same bottom again. And it's halted down at 72. Yep. Also, that same area is that same support we had earlier, red. So that level is going to be huge. Right? It's going to be big resistance. Hmm. This one's still holding the 200 EMA LIMN. Dan, you're supposed to be good at this. For SPY? Yep. Yeah, I think we mentioned the for SPY, the 670, 675-ish area, 675, 674. So they're probably just pumping it right above that level. Pumping it right above. No, not to trade. Yeah, exactly. I don't think she believed me. I don't think she did. Yeah. No one would ever believe you if you said that. Had car issues. Okay. Yeah. Yes. That's okay. You didn't really miss a whole lot today, Regan, and not a whole lot. Some good runners, but nothing crazy. SPY. Let me take a look at SPY. Take a look. This is a really nice push on this one here, actually. Highs of the day. That was a good bottom. Yeah. 68. Yeah, this was a really good bottom. So, a very, very nice bottom. SPY. Hmm. This seems like one of those pit stops to the abyss, Dan. But yeah, no, you can see we had this line already here for SPY, right? Closer to 675. So it looks like they're kind of keeping it right above, but at the same time, though, we just popped to the VWAP and the 200 EMA. That's the same spot we got rejected at last time, anyways. Right, 200 EMA rejection. So here we go again, and you can see that it's struggling already. So we need one of those. We need one of those Trump tweets when Trump comes in and says, "Buy the dips," and then the markets explode to new highs. Yeah. But knowing Trump, he's gonna say that, and then chaos is gonna begin. 182 breakout, maybe, maybe. Perhaps. Yeah, it's not a bad thing if it breaks out, Regan. Not a bad thing at all. Spies fighting there, fighting to get back above 680. Fighting. Probably, Caitlin, probably. See, I would like to know though, like if Trump actually sold $5 million worth of Bitcoin. I'd like to know. 5 million to Trump is nothing. But and we don't even know if this information is true. But again, that account has a lot of followers. So I don't know why they would make that up. Also, it's pretty easy to track, like people's accounts. Pretty easy, right? Like the president, everybody like kind of knows what like his crypto account, you know, phrase is. So when that account sells, they know like exactly what he's done. But who knows? Did it trap you, King? Did you FOMO? I thought you sold the position in the 90s. What happened? Oh yeah, that was Raven. Yeah. The best ever, really. Yeah. No, I think everybody, we were due for a retracement in the markets. I think we were hoping that it would come in March and April, like it usually does. But AIM is lame. AIM is lame. It's been lame the whole morning. And you took those monies, right, CM? Again, you could see that resistance line up there, and you could see it stalling too. So that's always your warning sign that when it's stalling at resistance, rejection, slap. No, Dan, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. Social media is it's an interesting place. But at the same time, though, we get a lot of our sources from these people on social media, and they're usually reliable, especially if they have a huge following. That's how they get that following. Yeah, so watch for closer to that 68 again for the 200 EMA for TEAD. And then yeah, Regan, you're still watching this one, LIMN. See if it can finally break out this time. This thing's been back and forth way too many times. It just needs to go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Mm, do, do. Let's see. Mm, the Mario soundtrack. We are at the beginning of in the US. Yeah, no, honestly, I think the markets are fine, right? Like if we look at SPY and we zoom out on SPY, like SPY is not the problem. SPY broke a downtrend, so there's a bit of a problem there. But we could also see like that we were stalling here for 2 weeks, you know, stall, 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 and then retrace. And now we can see where that 675 level is coming from, right? The last three major dips so far, we've kind of bounced off this area 675, right? So that level is there for a reason. If we break below that level, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, because we could easily drop to the 200 EMA, close to 650, easily, easily, and we've done it before, right? We've done it before, so could easily drop to this zone right there. So if we break below 675, then this might be that next target for SPY. Maybe a breakdown equals puts straight to zero. But yeah, no, like this is completely okay. Right? Like that's not that big of a drop. Now, on the other hand, though, if you look at Bitcoin, you can see the scamminess all over it. Like, look at this. Tell me this is not a scam. Right? We kind of talked about how you could see the triple tops on Bitcoin, right? Like, look at that. That thing has no support except for at zero. So yeah, BTC looks very weak, very very weak. So the fact that we're below that 74, we might just be looking for $50,000 for sure, for sure. We'll see. Unless Trump can come out and sell some more and then tweet, you know, or unless they pass the Clarity Act. Yeah, if we drop all the way down to 50, at this point we need it to 50 to zero. Then yeah, yes, yes. Anyways, back to SPY. It's a nice rebound from the bottom. I do think though, like D was asking earlier, if you're interested in Bitcoin, you just have to scale in slowly. Honestly, you just have to scale in because we could say it's going to $50,000, but then Bitcoin's dropped 50% already. 50%. The damn thing's been cut in half. No, it is a scam. It's a scam, Dan. Salty or not, it's a scam. There you go, SPY above 680. That's a nice push. It's definitely a scam. Yeah. But it's one of those scams, that if it ever did go to a million, like they're saying, yeah, you don't wanna, yeah. No, definitely not that. Definitely not. Definitely not. We no, definitely not. Yeah. Lots? Yes. Both true, yes. I can accept that. Yes. Yes, yes. So it looks like CM, did you get back in on this one? It looks like it bounced off that 68 TEAD. So 40-cent retest on XTKG and then a bit of a bounce back about 40 cents. Sometimes when you have all these random runners like this, it's kind of annoying. Very annoying. Very, very annoying. Hmm. Okay. So basics, if you want to get the indicator, just go to Discord in the Bull Bear Algo channel and scroll up. There should be a link in there. Um, Alrighty. The reason I say you should go in there is because we have there's so many educational videos and all your questions will be answered in that channel too. So the Bull Bear Algo channel, but also the Bull Bear How To channel. Those two channels should have all the answers. I can tell you guys are bored in stock general. uh, um, Radika, are you still in? Are you on stream? What do you need help with? What do you need help with? Oh, there's an IPO this morning. I was looking. It's called Bob's Furniture for furniture discount furniture. I'm sure you guys know what company that is. Um, Eddie's the other one today. Rock IPO, is that today? Yeah, no. So this one's priced for today. Bob's Discount Furniture. It's an interesting. Damn, look at Kelly, guys. Kelly came all the way back down again, and it's probably going to be halted down. Sheesh. Again, this is why sometimes, honestly, you see a red zone, you see a downtrend, you don't get greedy. Damn, it's a hard rejection. I'm surprised they haven't halted it down yet. Crazy. Uh, Dan's doing commercials now. So join the Discord. Try it for a month for $166 a day of unbeatable alerts, education, trading community. Try it for a month. You can always cancel. Your bank account will love you. Yes, absolutely. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Let me pull up Rock. Is it the bank one? Or rank one computing? Hmm. I think it's down 28%. The charts don't seem to be showing yet. Yeah, so it is an IPO. You're missing the fire memes? No, you guys are bored. That's why. You guys are bored. If it breaks above 60, 0.60. Yeah. So moneymaker, Jay, if it breaks above 60. Oh, if you're not in Discord, you're missing the fire gifts. Yeah. Yeah, come join us. We can have fun with some gifts when the markets are slow, and then we can cook when the markets are hot. LIMN is all over the place too. All over the place. That was a good dip though, wasn't it? The magic demand zone dip. Regan, did you jump into this on the dip skis? That would have been a nice dip. Yeah, all the price action on these names are just super sus. You got in? Good job. What did you get in at? Hopefully you got in close to 160. Is the volume better on that thing now? INLF. So last we checked, the volume is still kind of the same, right? But so the reason we keep saying if it breaks above 60J is because you can see the resistance right there, right? That's the resistance, right? So if it can break above this level, like yeah, you might get more volume, and then it pushed to 70. But there's also a big supply zone up there, so yeah, your entry was a little bit difficult because you're right at right below that resistance. So hopefully it breaks out for you though. Right, so the volume is still kind of the same, 700,000 shares. It's not the worst, but it's not the best, and you can tell that it's not the best because the average volume is 2.5 million. And also you can see how the candles are just stuck in the same spot, right? So there's no new volume. So volume won't necessarily come in until it actually breaks out. Okay, let's go back to LIMN here. 174. Okay, at least you're up 10 cents. At the strangest moments. Vena, I know. Yeah, I know. Mm, 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 mm. That's funny, Dad. When it's time to stream, rubbish. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know what? Where did your wife go, Dad? Where did your wife go? We need to call her back home. She needs to come yell at you. You're supposed to be trading and hitting your daily goal, but instead you're spamming gifts, telling her rubbish. Yeah, no, you can tell this thing wants to go. It's been trying this push all day today. It's been wanting to push. Maybe now that Regan is here, it can go. Maybe. Come on now, Regan, bring the good juju. Good luck. La, la. Okay. KELLYB still down here. I don't know how I feel about this now, that it's made brand new lows like this. You know what I mean? Maybe if it can bounce up $50 here, but I don't know how I feel. Like it's one thing for a stock to it's one thing for a stock to go up the first time and then come back down and give you a double bottom and then a higher low. It's another thing to go up and create a lower high and then create a brand new low. It just seems suspicious. Look at that. As soon as we say that, it's dropping even more, right? Like sometimes like the narrative, like the story, the way the stock moves tells you a lot, right? It's when you're creating those lower highs and you can't seem to hold the same bottom anymore, and now you're below the 200 EMA. Maybe it's fine, but it just seems suspicious, and now it's halted down, right? Maybe we bounce off $50 exactly, right? Like $50 is like right there, right? And it's done a good job holding that $50 level like all morning, so maybe that's the last hope, right? But the price action is pretty sus now. Yeah, no, you could MJ, it needs to break out of there. Yeah. Don't make me call your mom. uh, so she can come tell me, you look for trouble, you find trouble. Yep. Yeah, no, KELLYB is definitely sus. Unless it's showing you that it's holding $50, I would be very careful with that. Alrighty. That thing gave you two opportunities, down and all the way back up. to make some monies. You just can't get greedy with this because there's not a whole lot else we can this is just one of those vibe stocks. Vibes YOLO, one share, 5 shares, like a small amount type of play. This is not like a you go in heavy, you're gonna come out, with violence. Truck with the pop TRUG. Okay. Ah, you have to stretch first, Caitlin. Come on, where's Haley? Is Haley at school? You have to stretch your legs first, and then you can stand up. Unbelievable. Rubbish. That's funny. Yeah, no, today's been really, really slow. Very, very slow. Again, there's some scalps you can take. Yeah, you have to stretch. Can't just stand up and ready to no. Mm-mm. And what? And thrust. Mm, 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 mm. Hmm. Hopefully, though, after lunch, we can actually get some names that are moving. You know, hopefully, hopefully. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, CISS just is just trending down now. You do have a bit of support at $2. You do have a bit of support at $2 for CISS. So maybe it can bounce off that level. It looks like it's trying to bounce off that level, but it's also in a downtrend, so it's gonna need to break out of there. Jay, you can see the problem with this one, right? INLF. Like it's just failing at that 60 cents. So until it breaks above it, nothing. XTKG is looking for a bit of support between like 39 and 40 cents. But I think you need to break above 42 cents to confirm that it wants to push back up. AIM has been stupid today, right? But it is holding $1.20-ish, so $1.18, $1.20. It's also trending down. So the problems with all of these stocks. I would say the best looking one right now though is LIMN, um, right? But we're also at resistance and it needs to break out. So this one looks the best. It's the closest to resistance, but it is at resistance and it needs to break out. Ah, unbelievable, unbelievable. Kelly's on halted, guys, and Kelly's below 50 duffs, 46, 45. Right? So Kelly looks not good at all. And it's about to, yeah. So yeah, that thing definitely looks suspicious, right? Super, super sus. Super, super sus. Again, never get greedy with these things, guys. Alrighty? Never get greedy with these stocks, especially when there really isn't a catalyst here. There's nothing. So sometimes like we feel like, oh, if I sell it and then it goes to $500, I'm gonna regret it. Yeah, probably. But it's way better to make some money at least and keep your money than it is to lose your money. Right? So yeah, don't get greedy with stuff like this. MJ, I don't resist. I don't resist. Yeah. Let me take a look at TRUG. This one's gaining a little bit of momentum here. Looking for a bit of a breakout at 83 cents. Can you really trust a breakout today though? Like, is anything trustable? What are the most important factors? Volume. Yeah, it's a nice push then. It's a very nice push. KELLYB is halted down again, by the way, at 45. So yeah. What are the most important factors? Volume is more than average. Low floats. Good news. What is the next one other than technical analysis? Um, so I would say price action, right? So price action, like when I say price action, it kind of combines all of the above that you just mentioned, right? So um, maybe the not the news part, because honestly the news is not the most important thing, right? Like we've seen some crazy stocks without news, right? We had a stock last week go up 4,000% without news, right? And then the next day we had another 1,000% without news, right? So news is not the most important factor. People will gravitate towards price action, right? Like, okay, it has a low float, right? But even then sometimes the stock doesn't have the lowest float, but it's still performing. We tend to look at the low float still because, usually when we see a stock that's flying, it has a smaller float, right? The float is smaller, so it's easier to move, right? So when the volume comes in with the smaller float, it can move really nicely. So I say price action because when I say price action, like you're thinking about technical analysis, right? Am I getting higher lows? Am I getting breakouts? Am I getting retest, right? Okay, well, if I'm obviously getting all of these things, the volume is probably good, right? And usually the float is low too. So you're kind of combining all of those things together. Right? Does that answer your question, Ramtin? And obviously, like, all of that is important. You also need to make sure you have a strategy, right? Like, what's the strategy with, there has to be a specific strategy when you're watching all of this. Virus. You see the blood today? Yeah, don't look at your accounts today, everybody. Is AIM dead? um I mean, you can say yes. When we broke below that 130 135, it was dead. For now, though, it's kind of consolidating above $1.18, $1.20. So let's just say no, right? Because it's holding this bottom. If it breaks below that bottom, then yeah, dead. Yeah. Mm. There you go, MJ. Yeah, you can add a whole bunch of things. You're welcome. Someone was asking earlier, Kelly's support, Chris. This thing doesn't have any support. This thing doesn't have any support. I think that thing, yeah. CISS is doing a good job still holding that $2. So that's nice. LIMN just being difficult. Just being difficult. Let's go, Rumtin. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you. Alrighty. Thank you very much. Cookies. Cookies. Satin says, "How do I know it broke the downtrend for sure? I'm confused." Well, so the algo would usually do a good job of giving you a downtrend line. The algo does that. So if you have the algo, it should give you that downtrend line, right? So for example, right, you can also just draw it, right? So let's look at a stock that's on a clear downtrend because some of these are not. So for example, stuff like this, right? You can kind of see this one's on a clear downtrend, right? So if I can go from I can just use the algo clearly tells you right there, right? I can use that. I can also extend this line all the way to the top because it works, right? It works all the way to the top there. So I can tell that this is on a downtrend. So well, how am I gonna know when the downtrend is broken? Well, you can see that it's on a downtrend, right? So I'm just gonna scribble here. right? So clearly it's on a downtrend. 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 How am I going to know that it's broken the downtrend? When the candle breaks above and closes above on that specific time frame. So let's say you're scalping on the 1 minute time frame. If it can break and close above it, then yeah, it's broken the downtrend. Um, Sun. Alrighty. So it's not just about the price crossing the downtrend line. It has to break and close above that. If it can, then yeah, it's broken the downtrend, which is exactly what CISS is trying to do here, right? The only issue with this today is that the volume is super low. Yeah. Cried a little. Now eat some ice cream in bed while yeah, application. Yeah. Yep. But exactly, Sean, exactly. But that does not mean that it's going to to the heavens. Exactly, exactly, right? Just because we broke a downtrend doesn't mean we're gonna explode. So just keep that in mind. But breaking the downtrend is really, really, really important, right? So most of the time, though, when I see stuff like this, I would advise you not to touch it, right? If you can clearly tell that a stock is on a downtrend, right? I'd say, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone, right? You're like, but it's finding a base here, and no, it's still on a downtrend, right? It's almost like like the laws of physics, right? When a stock is when an object in motion is going to remain in motion unless you guys know the rest of the story. So when a stock is selling off on a downtrend, even if you buy at the best price, chances are it's going to keep finding a way to go to the abyss, right? So that's why usually we want to, at the very least, at the very least, like let it break that downtrend, because then at least you have a chance. Might not work out, but you have a chance. Is using one time frame enough to trade, or is it better to use multiple time frames? It depends on what you're trying to do, right? Like if your intention is to swing a stock, you definitely want to use multiple time frames, right? So like if your intention is to swing a stock, you first of all need to look at the bigger time frames, make sure you're at a key level support, and then you go to a smaller time frame to see if it's curling, right? Because if you're gonna swing a stock, like if you're only paying attention to the big time frame, you're gonna need more time, right? To like feel comfortable. But if you switch to a smaller time frame, you can see that it's bouncing already. Whereas when you're scalping on if you're scalping a stock, yeah, you want to look at that bigger time frame, right? You want to look at the bigger time frame to kind of say, hey, like, you know what, 6 months ago, this thing hit this level and it went to the abyss. And we've done that a lot, right? It's like, hey, like this stock hit this level like, a few months ago, and now it's crashing, right? If you look at like the one we talked about the other time, GXAI, right? Let's see. I'll pull it up. Hmm. Yeah. So if you look at GXAI, right, we talked about this one as a swing play. But why were we talking about this one? Just because it, like, if you looked at the daily, it was like, oh damn, like look at that. It's been 2 years and it's still holding that level, right? So then we're like, oh, you know what? Like this could be a good level. But we look at this on the daily and then we switch over to the smaller time frame to see that it's curling up that level, right? So yeah, I guess the answer is you want to use multiple time frames. You know, use the time frames. I think there's a class somewhere that, because there's a lot more detail to this, but there's a class that explains the time frames. I think somewhere. CISS. Look at CISS, right? Is it finally trying to give us something? Trying to. Why? Because you can see the $2 support. You can also see the trend line break, right? For the first time now, the stock is like, please, can I go up? Again, the problem is now you have the 200 EMA for resistance and the VWAP. So the other problems here, right? But the trend line has done its job, right? It's broken and it's trying to curl up, right? Look at that. There is the second green candle. So it's fighting, but the 200 EMA, that white line will act as an obstacle there, right? So, yeah, the downtrend make a bit more sense now. I wasn't saying anything. I wasn't saying anything. It definitely needs Jesus because this thing can never seem to break out. LIMN, like it's just been a tease all day today. Up, down, just super annoying. No, no, no. Perhaps after 2 we can, yeah, maybe, maybe. Doo, 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 doo. Guess what, guys? KELLYB is halted down again. Right? Is this a surprise? No, 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 no. Right? Looks like rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Absolute rubbish. Mm-mm-mm. Ayo, Marwan. Hello, hello. No, 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 no. Couldn't break it at all. Yeah, exactly, Steph. So the good thing with this one is like just scalping it off the bottom over and over. Other than that, like it can't seem to break out. So you just have to take those gains. You know, scalp, scalp, scalp. And CISS is still fighting for its life here, right? So again, Rumteen, you could use this one as an example of like a trend line, right? Because this was actually quite perfect, wasn't it? You could see it, right? Trend line, trend line, trend line, trend line, break, right? If this thing had a bit more volume, it would be flying back up there, but it just doesn't, and it's below the 200 EMA. Unless, yeah, yes, yes, lunchtime. Come on, CISS, give us a pop here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, right? So, all good things start when you break a downtrend. Well, they're supposed to, right? They're supposed to. So again, you can you get the idea, right? So this is the biggest run it's had, right? Since since it's had the downtrend. So there goes 215. So that $2 level was nice, wasn't it? Now you're testing the VWAP here, so just be careful. Like all of these lines are gonna act as resistance, right? So just be mindful there. Alrighty. There it goes. Did anybody buy the dip on this one? 217. That's not a bad bounce, especially on a day like today. Little scalps count. Did anybody take the downtrend break or the demand zone, the double bottom test? Anybody? You did, Regan? Good job. Right? And then 220 resistance, obviously. You did, Caitlin? Nice. Good job. Yeah, so that 220 is going to act as, again, like the problem is today we have these names that like don't want to go boom skis. But let's see if this one can break above that 220. Perfect timing. Yeah. Give us the breakout. 218. Going once. Going twice. Sold to Caitlin. Come on. We need Caitlin to sell some horses and buy the entire float. There we go. 219. 220. There we go. Okay. 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 Rumteen, did you get in on this one? Again, 220 is our next resistance here. Let's see. We can't seem to break out of anything today, so just keep that in mind. Whether that means you want to take your little gains or you want to wait for a breakout above 220. Come on, break, 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 break. Where's the market maker, guys? Matt, good morning. So again, sometimes it's worth, taking that gamble off the demand zone, off the double bottom, right? Or when we break the downtrend, because we actually broke the downtrend right there, and now we're testing resistance. You got in at 210, Steph. Yeah, that's not too bad. At least green. How are you, Ahmad? How's your morning? Again, just keep in mind 220 is resistance, right? There's nothing we can do about that, right? Yeah, nothing we can do about that. And it's failing there for now because some people are going to be taking gains, but hopefully it's just a retest of the VWAP and then boom skis. Yeah. So another thing you want to keep in mind, Ramteen, is you're okay for now, right? But when you break the downtrend, you always want to try and get in closer to that downtrend break, right? Than you do like all the way up there, right? Like if the downtrend is closer to $2 down here, you want to try and get in closer to this level rather than, up there, right? That's, the difference between like where you're supposed to get in and how close you are to resistance makes a difference. Right? It might not seem that way, but it makes a difference. But yeah, let's see if we can break out. Come on, something go. It looks like KELLYB is on halted and it's back to 41. KELLYB. Is it halted up? Yeah, it's halted up now. Still a nasty candle though. Yeah, see, this is the problem today, right? Like nothing just seems to want to break out and actually go boom skis. Everything just gives us a range. Just observing and waiting for a safe entry, may a paper trade. Yeah, man. Yeah, good plan. Practice, practice, practice. Right. Practice, practice, practice. NVIDIA and Apple supply reported revenue of 23 billion for January. Sheesh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Some of these companies make a lot of monies. A lot of monies. We'll probably give it like another 10 minutes or so, guys, and then hop off and go back to Discord. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Alrighty. So if you do want to join us in Discord, click this link at the bottom of the chat there from Nightbots and come join us. Yeah. That's because their wives still make unreasonable demands. Dan, what are you trying to say? Does your wife make unreasonable demands? Raven, where are you going? You to work in the house? Have a wonderful day, Raven. Caitlin, why do I feel like you make unreasonable demands to Steve? Raven says, mine does. uh, why? Need to meet contractors? Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Have a wonderful day, Raven. And good thing your wife isn't hearing this about you making, about she's making unreasonable demands. Otherwise, you'd be in trouble. Anyways. He told me to get a hobby when I said he played too much golf. Ah, now I have two horses and he doesn't golf. Oh my goodness. Poor Steve. I knew it. You make unreasonable demands. Steve goes and plays golf and he spends what, $500? Caitlin buys a damn horse. Unbelievable. Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. And then now Steve has no more money for golf. All he has to do is work. Unbelievable. Ah. Anyways, that's okay. Somebody has to make unreasonable demands, right? Get to selling the fabric. I know, Kevin. Unbelievable. And without asking him, unbelievable. Yes, somebody has to. Somebody has to. Is this reason enough? It is, MJ. Come join us. Come add value to the community. Alrighty, and we'll add more value to your life. Cool. Yes, come join us. Being in Discord will be like watching the streams, MJ, come join us. You don't get an opinion. well, well, I uh, I have two sisters and a mom, so yeah, yes. So I get unreasonable demands. Do. Anyways, unbelievable. You just a feeling? I mean, yeah, hopefully. It would be nice if it broke out. Not the same? Well, I feel like it's the same. Because my mom has a lot of unreasonable demands. Do. On XRP dip buy, slowly scale in if you like it. Just remember that you might get a lot more dip skis. Do. When Bob's, I know, right? I'm not quite sure when this is supposed to go live. Bob's 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 Discount Furniture IPO today. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, 290. Okay. Does she take your toys away? uh, Dan, what happened? What did she do to you? What toys? What toys did she take away, Dan? We get sent to the doghouse. Yes, that's true. That's true. What's the temperature? Probably warmer than yeah, 39. Oh, it's the same as Dan's weather. Dan, take that. Take that. 4 degrees Celsius. This is actually nice weather. I don't mind this. And sunny. So I definitely need to go outside today. uh Dan, you need Jesus. That's what you need. Yeah. Twice? Oh my goodness. Poor Steve. The things Steve does for you, Caitlin. Unbelievable. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Yeah, we're gonna hop off in a bit too. So, and hopefully the markets can find a way to turn around because this is pretty slow. The scalps are fine, but we need some proper rallies. Have a great day, Alan. Alrighty. Used to live in Calgary. Oh, cool. Very cool. The mountains. Yeah, Anthony, that's the problem. It's like, okay, we see something good, but there's just no follow through, right? Look at LIMN again off the 200 EMA. Like this thing has actually been quite nice with that 200, hasn't it? Right? So you can see why we keep coming back to this thing. Like it's just a good scalp, just a good scalp. Like it keeps going back and forth off the 200 EMA. So at some point, if it can break out, that'd be good. At some point, if this thing can find it in its heart to break out above $1.90 and then above $2, that would be good. We could really use that. We could really use that. Yeah, but the scalpies are okay. Seriously, Bill. Seriously, like it's just little scalpies. I mean, the one that did well was with the bigger rally was Kelly, right? Initially, but other than that, it's like, come on, just up down, up down. This one might actually go now, though. Maybe now that Kaylin's gone, maybe this thing will pump because every time she leaves, something goes boom skis. Oh, okay, okay, okay. It's not bad. 70s next week. That's nice. It's very nice. Do, 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 do. I wanna go skiing the next market holiday. Do, 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 do. Ski trip at a pace that I would not have imagined. Interesting. 190. Yep, exactly. It's hard not to sell because it's been stalling so much, right? So a lot of people have been doing that, and you can see it's already stalling again at the same price. But if it can break out on one of these, tests, that'd be really nice. Really, really nice. KELLYB is unhalted, by the way. So nothing crazy, but unhalted. Um, yeah, exactly, Frank. It's just a low volume day today. Again, we started the beginning of the like last month. We started the first week was so stupid, so slow, and then the next week, oh my goodness, we could not have a single day like without going to 500% or 300%. So hopefully this is just a slow week, and then we can move on. You know, because I'm ready for some boom skis. Ready for some boom skis. Yeah, you get that feeling though. If LIMN can break out, it could be fun. If this thing was running like this on a good week, we most likely would have had this breakout already. But we'll see. An AI YouTube video? What's an AI YouTube video? Like somebody did one of those stick people with a voiceover. Yeah, so let me know if you have any last questions, guys, and then we'll hop off in like 5 minutes or so and go back to Discord. We'll hop off in like 5 minutes and continue in the Discord already, and hopefully, again, like it's completely okay, guys, to have slow days, slow weeks. You know, like every so often we have a slow day, we have a slow week, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? Because then we have 3 weeks of like fireworks, right? Like last week, last month, we just couldn't stop cooking, so it's completely okay. Every so often, we're gonna go through these phases, right, of slowness. There's nothing wrong with that. Sit on your hands, don't force anything, right? And we'll get back to cooking. Like it's not that big of a deal, so we don't mind. Should you sell it? Well, again, it's Like I said, you're asking because you're back to break even now, huh? There's not enough volume here for a breakout. So if I were you, yeah, maybe, right? And then if it ends up breaking out, you can always come back in. But there's obviously just not enough volume here for anything to happen. Jay, alrighty. And CISS just we went from the support to the breakout to the resistance. No follow through, but it did push the resistance, right? So some people took their monies. Why? Because they wanted to. So if there's one stock that has hope of a squeeze, maybe it's this one, right? LIMN. If there's one stock that can save the day, maybe it's this one. Save the day. We shall see. SoFi is cooking today. Interesting. Interesting, George. Let me take a look. SoFi. Oh, cooking from the abyss. Yeah. So basically, did the same thing the markets did. Yeah. I don't know if I'd call this cooking though. Come on, George. If you bought this thing at 19-ish, then yeah, right? At least you had a bounce. But I don't know if I'd call that cooking. I'm taking that as financial advice, Ajoya. Sounds good. Sounds good. Come on now. Come on, cook, cook. Where's the market maker? We need a boomski here. Come on, at least one boomski before we get off. Come on. Slow rubbish. Yeah. Uh, why are we stuck at 188, guys? Why are we stuck? Yep. To sweep up the rubbish. Seriously. Seriously. Come on. We need Dan to buy the float. At this point, Bitcoin just needs to go back to 60K, so we could scale in every $10,000. Small scale in every $10,000, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin's gonna be at $5,000 again, and then no one's ever gonna trust it. Michael Saylor is gonna be broke. Am I supposed to pay for my new espresso machine? Ask for a refund. Go return it. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Where have you been? Where have you been? Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Criminals. How's work? I know, right, Jones? That thing just needs to break out. This, mm, mm, mm. Okay. It just doesn't want to break out, does it? Yeah, Cam, they sent it to zero. Straight to the abyss. Kelly is gonna need the hospital next week. Yep. Yep. Don't diamond hand rubbish. I had to hop on and just put a let's go. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Ready? Yeah. When you're ready to when you have a bit more time, come back and then let's cook. Let's cook together. You missed some crazy runners. You missed like 4,000% runner, 2,000% runner, a whole lot of runners. That's okay though. There's always another one. Mm-mm. There's always another. Okay. As soon as we leave the stream, you know this thing is gonna break out. Hopefully, at least something should break out. Again, let me know if you have any last questions, guys, and then we shall hop off. CISS, as long as this thing stays above $2, we're gonna keep watching this one as well, right? But AIM has just been playing with that stupid 120 level, right? XTKG is trying to come back a little bit too, which isn't bad. Yeah, always be cooking. Yep, always be cooking. So yeah, XTKG bounced nicely up the 200 EMA. So there are names that still look promising, you know, like some of these names, Little Boomski, Soundin, yeah, exactly. Some of these names still look promising. We're just, you know, again, that like that level right there, 38. Raven mentioned this before he left. That 200 EMA, right at 38 cents, like that's a good spot. Hopefully it stays above it, and hopefully we get some volume. So there are still some good stocks that we're going to be watching going into the end of the day. The question is, you know, which one of them will actually go boomskis? Doesn't matter what anything at this point, Steph. Yeah, Trump is usually good at, you know, stepping in when he's bought all the dipskis. I bet you Trump, you know, Trump sold $5 million worth of Bitcoin, but he's holding a $1 billion worth, you know, just to create more chaos. And then he's gonna step in and yeah, craziness. Kevin, have a great day as well. See you in Discord. Alrighty. See you in the Discord. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. See you in these Discords. David, thank you for joining. Not yes, David. Yeah, yeah. Well, life, well, life. Yeah, I think the latency is like less than 5 seconds. So much love, Dan. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Snacks, movie, nap. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, see you tomorrow, David. Again, don't forget to smash a like before you leave, guys. Hit that subscribe if you're new. And if you do want to join us in Discord, click this link at the bottom of the chat and sign up for one of the levels that don't say sold out. And come join us. Alrighty? If you sign up after the stream, that you can always send me an email, hottradesx@gmail, or the email is in the description, or the Discord link is in the community section. Jay, have a great day as well. Let's go. A lot of confidence. Marwan, absolutely. Good. Okay, again, much love, everybody. Ferguson, thank you very much. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Again, we don't mind these slow days because we know the days where like they can't stop us, you know, and we cook and cook and cook. So every day is not going to be like that, right? Which is fine. And again, hopefully some good names can show up later. Like I said, CISS still looks good to me. As long as we stay above that $2 level, LIMN needs to break out before it's ready. If not, you just keep playing with the 200 EMA bounce there, maybe. Alrighty, and then we'll see if XTKG can break back above 45 cents and then push for 50 cents. Alrighty, so there's still some names to watch. Hopefully we can cook into the end of the day. Bye, BC. Bye for now. Ajoya, see you in Discord. Also super predictable and easy to hit daily goals. Yeah, exactly, Ajoya. Right, you can kind of pick out these levels and know, you know, like it builds your discipline, right? You know it's not gonna break out, so you sell the damn thing at resistance, right? So it builds that discipline. The slow days are good too. So Have a blessed afternoon as well, Bill. Nancy, blessings to you as well. Much love, everybody. And catch you guys in Discord. Alrighty. Bye, Steph. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye, guys.